Hi folks, it's Greg from Heroes Beacon here with another gameplay video of Magic Duels. Last time I showed you basically what the game looks like when you first start playing. I'm going to talk a little bit more about my thoughts on the game now that I've gotten further through it. I've actually completed story mode, so I've managed to unlock a few packs, gain some coins at the store, and I've been able to construct some of my own decks. What I really want to talk about, though, is the quests. So this is something that it took me a bit myself to figure out, and that's how these quests worked. There's your achievements, which don't really do too much for you other than give you some ability to gloat a bit that you've conquered some achievements, but more importantly are these quests here that will give you coins that you can use to purchase boosters. Now what was happening before was I would construct a deck, try to unlock these quests, and was finding that this counter wasn't going up. I had a blue-red deck. No matter what I did, it didn't seem to increase this counter. And I honestly wouldn't mind having some coin. So I figured out what the problem was, and I'm not really sure if it was purposeful or not. I'm not terribly fussed over it. So here's what you do if you want to complete these quests, if you want to complete specifically these archetype quests. So what you need to do is go into your card collection, build one of the archetype decks, but what you want to do is build it using the deck wizard. So instead of being able to go in and just, for example, building a green-blue deck all on your own, you have to go into the deck wizard and build a deck through the wizard. Now I'm going to show you the wizard here in a second as part of this gameplay video, but lo and behold, it's not going to make a deck that's necessarily what you want to play or necessarily good. It seems to select cards from your collection, however, so I'm assuming the larger your collection, the more variety you're going to get. But you may not be able to build what you might have built if you were able to just simply choose from your entire collection. I'm hoping they fix this down the road because it is fairly limiting, but it is what it is, I guess. So let's go into the deck wizard, and here are the archetypes you can choose from. So find the archetype you want to build. So I mentioned blue-green, so we're going to build a blue-green archetype deck. So this is called Push Through. Summon a small army and use spells to protect it and win. So we will select you, create a new deck. So step one, we want to have some low-cost creatures. Backbone of your deck is small, aggressive creatures. Okay, so here's the selection we have to choose from. I'm not entirely sure. Again, it's sort of hard to build a deck this way, not knowing what's going to be coming down the road. But I am going to choose what I think are some decent value creatures. So I like Jason Thief. Actually, the Force Mage is pretty good too, but I'm going to go with Jason Thief. And once you choose one, another card shows up in its slot. So I'll take some Jason Thieves. I'll take a Force Mage. Good evasion. Reclamation Sage is good. Let's take a couple of him. Let's get some flyers. At this point, I really don't care. Timberland Guide. Really don't need 4 of him. You know what? I'll take some Perilous Murs. There we go. Step complete. So again, that would not have been what I normally would have chosen, but it is what it is. Again, it's also based on my rather limited pool, but still, even from that, I probably would have chosen some different cards. So we want some spells to clear path. I am going to take Willbreaker and Frost Links to put that Willbreaker to work. Take another one. Another one. Take some Void Mages. Hey, this changed. Dehydration's pretty good. Primal Bellow. There we go, step complete. So again, not ideal. And fill your deck. So you need more cards to complete your deck. Creatures are important. Most decks want to include 23 creatures. Variety is good. Removal is key. So, oh, Outland Colossus is pretty good. Sure. Whirler Rogue. Oh, Jace. We'll take Jace. And now we're down to the dregs, it appears, with 14 more to go. Or, sorry, 11 more to go. Jeez. All of these are kind of not what I would necessarily choose. Oh, these are just awful. A throwing knife, I'll take that. And it will automatically choose lands for me, which is going to be what I would have chose myself anyway, given the rarities on some of these, so that looks good. You can customize your deck. Sure. That looks like decent enough. Yeah, I'll take her as my avatar. Choose a background. That works for me. I'll keep the name. So there we go. I have an Archetype deck. So let's go back to the main menu, and now we're going to go into battle mode and go into versus or solo. And I'm going to go into solo because versus battle, I'm likely to get trounced with this deck. So solo battle. Select my push through. I'm going to choose medium difficulty, and off we go. So let's see how this deck plays out, given that it's kind of awful. Now, this wouldn't be so bad if you're a new player and you have absolutely no idea how to build a deck. Then this is pretty good. For more experienced players, though, it's kind of a pain. It's a little limited, and the other issue is, of course, that well, I'm going to actually go into my options here, and if you'll excuse me, let's turn that down. So the other issue is, of course, that you're limited. You can't build any deck you want. So as an experienced player, it is not the most engaging way to complete these quests. And the fact you're forced to have to do this to complete these quests is irritating. So I'm going to mulligan that, and I will keep my hand. So I get to go first. Start with an island. So after playing this for about a week, I'm still, I guess less than a week really, still fairly fond of it. I do, again, like the UI. It is fairly straightforward, simple layout. Play a Perilous Myr. There's a nice variety of artifact creatures. Origin seems to really push Thopters a lot, which is kind of fun. Some interesting archetypes you can start to build. I want to hang on to Reclamation Sage in case he plays something I'll want to destroy. Go to combat. Attack him with my Myr. And what do we have here? The Jessamine Thief. Do I want to play you, or there's really nothing else that... Well, let's get you out, because next turn I can use Whirler Rogue and get my Thief in for some card draw. Nothing else, this kind of feels like building a deck after a draft, where you do have sort of a fairly limited selection of cards to choose from. Fleshbag Marauder. Each player sacrifices a creature. Well, that's going to be easy. Sacrifice my Myr and deal 2 damage to you. That's what you get for being a jerk. I do find the AI in this game doesn't necessarily make the best plays. Of course, I don't necessarily make the best plays. But there are some times where it's tried to use removal and it hasn't necessarily chosen what I would consider to be the best target. For example, it will leave my Jessamine Thief alone for a good long time, allowing me to sneak in, or my Jessamine Thief, sorry, my Whirler Rogue. It'll leave that Whirler Rogue alive, even if I have a bunch of Thopter tokens and I'm sneaking in larger creatures every turn. It won't target it, which is unfortunate, because the smart play would be to get rid of my Whirler Rogue so I can't just hit you for free. And I'll play my land for the turn. If you're looking to cycle through what mana you tap, hold the or press the control key and it will choose different arrangements of land. So if you want to make sure you have the right mana for your next spell, just hit control. But I'm going to play a Void Mage. Oh shoot, Hexproof. Speaking of bad plays, so yeah, I'm not always the best here myself. Play Timberland Guide. I gotta figure out how to get that. Oh, did that wrong. Gotta figure out how to get that 3/3 off the board. So let's see what it gets rid of. Get rid of my Thief. Ooh, Evolutionary Leap. Let's see how it uses this card. If it does so intelligently or if it does something silly. Again, can't target you. Just put you out for now. I could have gotten rid of his enchantment, but I'm curious to see how the computer's going to play that enchantment. Glad I kept that Reclamation Sage. So let's get rid of his artifact. Oh, he did trigger his enchantment. Smart move. Okay, so he revealed those 3 cards. He's likely going to get the Knight of the White Orchid. Interesting. Willbreaker triggered but doesn't have any effect. And let's charge in with everything. Because he should block, and I'll cast the Primal Bellow here. There. Oh, shit. Shit. I didn't cast that in time. I wasn't paying enough attention. That's always a pain. You can sort of force it to stop, I think, in the settings. But that was just me being silly. So there's the Knight of the White Orchid coming into play. He's pretty much dead next turn regardless. So again, that Willbreaker, or sorry, that the Void Mage, I mean, why would you choose that? He's just a 2/2, whereas this one has an ability I can use. Confirm attack. Blockers there. Alright, so should give him +5/+5, or +4/+4, and that should be game. So I got some coin for my win, and there we go. I got my Archetype Paragon credit. So I got it for both. There's 2 different Archetype Paragon quests I'm on that I got the credit for, so that's great. So that's how you get credit for those Archetype quests. One more thing I want to show you, now that I have over 150 gold, let's go buy a booster. So we'll go to the store. We will buy some boosters. Can only afford 1. You don't get any discounts for more gold. If you buy the gold with real money, you do get discounts for the more gold you buy. But so I'm going to buy 1 booster. Confirm purchase. Purchase successful. Open it. Oh, open booster. That should give me 6 cards. Oh, we got Tragic Arrogance as a rare. I really like this card. I play Commander a lot. It's really great in that format. For each player, you choose from among the permanents that player controls an artifact, a creature, an enchantment, and a planeswalker. Then each player sacrifices all other non-land permanents he or she controls. So you choose 1 of each for each player, and they sacrifice the rest. So a few nice things is choose, not target. So it gets around hexproof. They sacrifice it, which gets around indestructible. If they have an artifact creature, then you can choose that for both targets, I believe, allowing you to remove more of their stuff. It's a really good board wipe because you can basically leave them with the worst junk they have while keeping the best of your cards. So kind of a nice card. I'm really fond of it. I've won limited drafts with this guy. Sigil Starfish, All-Star in limited. Really fond of him. Another Whirler Rogue. That'll be nice in my collection. A Thornbow Archer. So not too bad. Now the interesting thing is in duels, if you get the card, if you get the maximum number of the card, so if I get 2 Tragic Arrogances, which is the maximum for the number of rares you can have in your collection in this game, I will never see another one in a booster. If I get 3 sigiled starfish in my collection, I will never see another one in a booster. So you will always get cards in boosters that you don't already have. So that's rather nice. So there you go. That's how the store works. That's how you complete those quests. And it's another quick gameplay video of Magic Duels. So again, fun game. Great if you're trying to learn how to play Magic. But there are some quirks that more experienced players will have to sort of just trudge through. So thanks again for watching, and I hope to have more videos on this and other topics every week, so stay tuned.